Now, my experiences before these ledgers with Muskogee County, Oklahoma, this was a place that I passed through on my way to get to Tahlequah to float the river at least 2 dozen, 3 dozen times in my life. All through childhood and even into my adult, I've gone to Tahlequah to float the river, and at some point we'll stop in Muskogee for gas or to hit a little shop or store or whatever. But I had not had much experience with Muskogee County until I bought these ledgers. Would have been in formerly the Creek Nation. In other words, when the Indian lands were allotted, Muskogee County probably would have had Osages. Osage Indians would have been here. And then all of a sudden, the federal government gives that land essentially to Creek. And then there is also some Cherokee Nation that is within Muskogee County, Oklahoma. And so Indian removal in the 1830s, the Creeks and the Cherokees are brought from the eastern states where they had reservations in places and are basically forced to come to Oklahoma where they are given land that was, already previously inhabited by other Indians. And so this is a very turbulent time. But from that, Muskogee County emerges as a big city in Muskogee. It will be the largest city in the Indian Territory, just a little bit behind Oklahoma City, but even above like Guthrie and Tulsa until you get into the 20s and 30s. And so Muskogee was a big city in the Indian Territory. And then around that is this Indian Agency and all of these other Indian interests, mostly Muskogee Creek and Cherokee. It is in eastern Oklahoma. It's called the Three Rivers area, the Grand River, the Arkansas River, and the Illinois, I think. Don't quote me on that, but the Three Rivers area across there, and it's kind of a basin of commerce and development, but also very divided. In other words, very different things happened on each of these forks of the river. People develop differently with very different interests, very different motivations, and economies. They will ultimately, obviously, overlap. There's trains are coming, so Muskogee is a train town. We are going to explore, kind of a lot of deaths that have to do with the train industry. And so that's kind of cool as we get into our deaths. In fact, I think there was one right here on the page. Yeah, killed by MK&T train car, and he worked for a gravel company. So this is a guy who was just loading gravel in Muskogee. He's from, we do not know where he is from. He doesn't list. We'll have to see if we can find him. But just a random person who dies working for a gravel company loading the train. And so Muskogee County, very interesting place, very interesting time. Okay, moving on. Why would we want to do this?